and welcome to this video where we are going to start learning Master Blaster by Stevie Wonder. And in this first video we're going to look at the verse, and this is the chord progression in this song that is really interesting. There's plenty to learn from here, with the possibility of getting a little bit confused. So I'm going to try to go through this chord progression and explain what it's doing and what that means when you're going to solo over it or create licks or little chord fills and stuff like that. So, okay, this song is in the key of C minor because C minor feels like home. So when you play this progression round and round and then the chorus, and it's very clear that C minor is home. So we have to call the song to be in the key of C minor. But which of the Roman numerals is C minor? Is it 6? Is it 2? Or is it 3? Or is it the one chord that has become a minor, like we had in I Heard It Through the Grapevine? It was as if the song was in E flat, and it was an E flat blues, and then it went to the bridge, which was like the parallel minor. But that E flat was actually a minor chord. So maybe the C minor is that, you know. We got to find out which one it is in order to make choices about what notes we can use and stuff. And this will tie in with the modes, which we're not actually doing in this course. We're doing that in the next course. In the advanced course, we start doing modes. But which number is the home chord is very important to understand when we want to fully understand the song that you're playing. Okay, so let's take a look at what this C minor actually is, the function of it. So the first chords, if you take a look at verse example 1 below in the tab there, and you just focus on the top line. It's basically the whole example is the same progression repeated, right? But we want to focus just on the first top line there, and we see that it says C minor, and then B flat, A flat, and G. Now this is an incredibly common progression. You've played One More Cup of Coffee in the beginner acoustic course. That's A minor, G, F, E, which is the same thing, but in A minor rather than C minor. Another song that uses this progression is Hit the Road Jack, Ray Charles track, that one. That's in A flat, I think, that song. Sultans of Swing by Dire Straits, it's in D minor. It goes D minor, C, B flat, A, and then it goes back to D minor again, right? Same with all these examples that I've mentioned now. They all go back to that first chord, which if that's chord 6, the progression would be 6, 5, 4, and then 3, but the 3 chord is major. And it's really, really common that. So if we think about Sultans of Swing again, D minor, that's our home. So A instead of A minor, right? Chord 3. Now that note there, that's where the tension is. He wants to go there, which is a D. So he wants to resolve back to that first chord we played. So in all those songs that I mentioned there, that home chord is chord 6. Okay? So in Master Blaster, we're doing that in the key of C minor. So 6, 5, 4, 3. G is 3, but it's a major rather than a minor, so 3x. And then it continues down to F. And F in the key of C minor is chord 2. Should have been minor, right? So we got 2 chords here that are not what they're supposed to be if we're thinking about the major scale and the minor scale and all the chords that naturally appear in a key. After the F, we go back to C minor and play B flat again. So we already played them, so that doesn't affect much. So let's say that because of this G and F here, let's say that C minor isn't chord 6. Let's say it's chord 2 instead. just to see what happens if we think like that. So that means that C minor is chord 2, and then we go down a tone and we hit B flat, a major chord, that's chord 1. So, okay, the song is now in B flat major, but chord 2 is our home. That's how we're kind of thinking about this. And then we move down another tone to an A flat, so that'll be a flat 7x, very common chord that as well. And then we move down to a G, that would be a 6 chord in the key of B flat. But it's major. It's not that uncommon that either. That's that happens. And then one tone down from that, we get an F, which is chord 5. Okay, so that means that C minor F is a 2-5, and it kind of feels like that when you're playing it, But when you're playing the first part of the progression, C minor, B flat, A, G, it kind of feels like that Sultans of Swing hit a road jack vibe. So maybe it's kind of both, The weight of these chords is C minor, A flat, and F. That's the one we play for the longest. And they are what makes this. The A flat defines one side, saying that C minor should be chord 6, and the F says that C minor should be chord 2. So what we could say here is that, okay, well, when we play over this, in the beginning of the progression, we play as if C minor is chord 6, and towards the end, we play as if C minor is chord 2, right? And we could go all modal on that. But the fact is, that doesn't sound very good. Believe me, I've tried it. You try to target those notes there. It's just not great. The A flat is the root of the A flat chord, right? For F, the A flat is a minor third, but it's a major chord, so it's an A then. So it's a note that's changing all the time. The best way around this, in my opinion, is to not make this choice between 6 and 2, because that's a modal choice. It's Aeolian or Dorian, and we take a minor pentatonic and we fill in these little gaps that we have. And we decide that it's either going to be a flat 9 or a 9. We decide if it's going to be a 6 or a flat 6, and that's how we decide this is the mode we're playing. So we add that to the minor pentatonic. But because of this change here between A flat and F all the time, and it's basically this note that changes. That note there. So you got your minor pentatonic. See that gap there? So that's the A flat. And that's the A. So the progression sounds like it goes from there to there. Right? Everything else is passing chords. That's what's... Sounds like minor to major, really. Anyway. The best way around this is to not make a choice between should I play that one or that one in my pentatonic? That's my pentatonic notes. Should I play that one or that one? Well, I'll tell you what, the best way forward is to not play either. So you can use a blanket scale over this progression, which is just the C minor pentatonic. And that will work better than try to be like, oh, I'm going to play Aeolian at first and then C Dorian. It just doesn't really sound very good. It doesn't sound like this song anymore when you do that. And if you play the vocal melody, you realize that he's just using minor pentatonic notes. When you play the instrumental section, that's just minor pentatonic notes. So maybe if we solo over this, maybe we should just use minor pentatonic notes, right? Okay. Anyway, so that's the chord progression. It's got this strange thing in it. And we'll talk more about this when we play licks and stuff, and why we choose different notes and stuff like that. And I'm going to show you a scale called the Consperian scale as well later on, where we add other notes than these 6 or flat 6 that I was on about earlier. Right. Anyway, that was a long intro, wasn't it? Let's play verse example 1. Because we just need to get on with it, don't we? There's loops below, and there's tab for all of this. The first example, the first half of it, is just 8 notes on the 2 and the 4. So 1, taka, baka, baka, yeah? You play E shapes, moving down the neck. So this is the full E minor shape, but we only play that bit, right? This is the full B flat E shape, we only play that. Full A flat E shape, we only play that. And we keep on going like that. G, F. And then instead of going straight back up again, we play an A minor shape and then an A shape of the B flat. Okay? That's the first half of this verse example 1. Before I move on, we have to consider as well that this whole song is played in a triplet feel. So instead of being da ba 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 straight, da 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 da, it's got more of a shuffled triplet feel to it. So all these eighth notes should be played as a broken triplet. So da ba 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 ba, and a little gap in between as well. So I write them as eighth notes, and then there's a little symbol that says eighth note equals broken triplet. And it makes it easier to read because it's less clutter. Before, in other examples, I have written the actual broken triplet. So I'm trying to show you both sides here, basically. This song would look really messy if I had to write everything as a triplet all the time. So that's why I made that choice. And that's why, so you see them as eighth notes, but you play them as broken triplets, right? Second half of the example has this little mute before the strum, and it actually makes it easier. I find it really difficult to play the first half of this example because it's so static all the time. You add that little mute, it just kind of gets you in the groove better. And we also pick different shapes that we stay down with the A minor shape, A shape, E shape, E shape, and then we play D shape for the F. And then we go back up again, B flat there, and now we can loop the whole thing. So I'll show you what this sounds like in context with the band. And you can obviously practice it to the loop below and use the tab. Make sure you play it exactly as the tab says. We're going to do plenty of improvisation later on. But start off with just nailing it as it says. It'll be good for how you learn this song. All right, here we go. Here's example 1 with the band.